the video. And I believe we will be very shortly here. Looking ahead to the radar. There we go. All right, looks like we are up with the video and the audio, and got some people in here. Quick 165 already, so good. So again, just a quick update on what we are expecting to see and what we've seen so far with this storm system as it moves into the area. Not the prettiest, pretty much what we expected to see, what we were talking about all morning. A ragged couple of lines and some very few and far between showers and isolated thunderstorms trying to get something going here, but it's really an uphill battle for him, but it's still there. And for the next couple of hours, almost exactly 2 hours, we still have that chance of seeing that developing down here, as we still have the warmth, the instability, a little bit of the rotation that's needed, and the front moving through will help move all that along. But as we look out right now, your tornado watch, you can see not every Pine Belt county under that. Once again, the watch, if it has been updated or issued in your area, make sure it is a watch not meaning anything more than what we've already been talking about all week long, that thunderstorms will be possible today and that they could be on the severe side. And that's basically all a watch means. Thunderstorms are coming in, pay attention. And that's exactly what we've been talking about all morning. So once you're under the watch, it's the warnings that you're looking out for. We haven't had too many of those, no tornado warnings at all, and just a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings on the extreme northern end of the viewing area and the Pine Belt in general. With some of those we'll take a look at right here, just pretty windy conditions. So as we take a look at the severe threat for this morning, you see the entire area under that yellow level 2 risk. There is a level 3 risk just off towards the northern end of the area, just up north and east of Jackson and Meridian. So it's close enough that it's concerning, but again, this is never a very good looking storm from a structure perspective, not as much so as the one that moved through Monday night, Tuesday morning. So it does seem to be coming apart, but sometimes when that happens, they can kind of overachieve or have a higher chance of overachieving than they normally do, which is always pretty good. And in the South, anytime you get a thunderstorm going, it feels like there's like a 0.5% chance it could really go all out if it wanted to. But for now, it's looking like windy conditions will be our biggest threat, and that's exactly what we're seeing and what the warnings that we're seeing right now are coming along with that. So from now until about 12 p.m., wind remains our biggest issue as we head from west to east across the area. Tornado threat is slightly smaller, especially so the further south and west you go, and hail is becoming less and less likely. The updraft strength just not quite there, and that does limit the other severe factors that we may see as well. But if warnings are issued, and that's why we're here, that's what the watches are for, that's why Rex and I have been up here watching to make sure that nothing crazy does happen. If any are issued, it is of course a good idea to know where your safe spot is and already be near it. So for a refresher course, if you live in a 2-story house, that's the ground floor. If you live in a house with a basement, that's the basement floor. And if you live in a 1-story house, it's the 1st story. That's your lowest level of your house, and you want to be the most interior level in your house. You see what this orange circle is showing you that you want to be in a room that doesn't have any exterior walls if you can help it. That way, if every exterior wall, the entire house is exposed to the elements, you should still have those walls around you protecting you. That's what it's all about when it comes to tornado safety. Taking a direct hit from a tornado, even one of these smaller embedded ones in these lines, is never a good thing to take one directly to your house. And that's kind of what you do, is you just mitigate that risk, put as many walls between you and any potential tornado that there is. And that's what this is all about. And of course, you can bring some of these things for comfort: pillows, helmets, blankets, cell phone, so you can stay up to date with the app and get any relevant warnings and things like that. And of course, know when it's over, which won't be too long before it's completely over for the area, as this is a pretty fast moving frontal system. It just isn't very well organized. Fast moving, just not organized. So as we look outside right now from Laurel Ford and Laurel, it's been pretty boring all day. Now we're seeing the rain starting to come in, and of course those gray skies. This one of those areas that did just see that severe warned thunderstorm pushing through the area. You can see those winds at 20 miles per hour, gusting almost to 30. That's we expected to see today. Wouldn't surprise me to see some higher gusts. A little further east here in Waynesboro, you see it hasn't quite gotten here yet. Just a few 1/100ths of an inch of rainfall. Clouds moving quickly, so you know that wind is booking it there, but haven't quite seen that storm catch up to this area yet. It very likely will pretty soon. Here in Columbia is a little further south. On this end of the area, things are really falling apart with that front. You'll see here as we take a look at the satellite, this is the warned storm currently passing out of Jasper and into Clark. Nothing more than wind associated with this. Not even really the potential for hail was mixed in, even small hail and no rotation at all, but things can get windy, upwards of 60 miles per hour with this particular storm as it's passing through. So that's enough to kind of shake some things loose, some tree limbs, damage roofs and things like that, things of that nature. You got to watch out for that as it's pushing through. So if you are in Clark County, working its way from basically the western county line to the eastern, right through Quitman or north of Quitman, go ahead and get near that safe space, or at least know where it is in case any warnings are issued and you want to be inside, because even with this just being a severe thunderstorm warning, it can get windy, and being outside is never a good thing in a thunderstorm. There's just no way that it can end up pretty good. So this is what I'm expecting to see over the next few hours here. The line itself is finally catching up. It will start pushing through, and I just got a question here from, looks like Che Delancey. If the line has passed us, isn't our severe threat over? So yes, based on this map right here, which is again looking ahead about an hour, it says 11 a.m. there. If you were west of Collins, west of Bay Springs, west of Columbia, west of Meridian, based on this model, again, that's an hour out. If you were west of those areas, then yes, your severe threat would be over. Once this tight little line passes through, and it's very easy to see if you're following along with your app or if you have some sort of a radar feature, that very narrow line of storms. Once that's through, it may still be a little cloudy and windy, but your severe threat is over. In fact, your rain threat is over, because once the line's through, it is going to rapidly cool and clear. We'll end the day very sunny and rather mild, so it's going to be kind of an interesting one. By about lunchtime or 11:30 here, you can see that's just pushing into the central Pine Belt area. Once we head into the after lunchtime hours, I expect that to still, you can visibly see it kind of coming undone, especially on the southern end of the area. So we'll just see that slowly push its way out. And again, here by 1 o'clock, this went an extra 30 minutes on me, basically completely done in the Pine Belt and moving into Alabama. As far as rainfall goes, we haven't seen very much. There will undoubtedly be a few areas that get some pockets of heavy rainfall, most likely up here in the Clark County and Jasper County area, but right now only seeing like 0.3 of an inch. And that's the high end estimate right now for some rainfall. So not going to be a big flood issue. Kind of, we did see that Monday and Tuesday, it just never really stopped raining. Instability and rotation was higher earlier. It is starting to fall. It's definitely more on the low end, but as that continues to linger, that's why we still can't quite shake that chance that something won't try to pop up on its way out of the area. But that, again, that is rapidly becoming undone. We were seeing a lot more of these orange and almost red colors earlier on, and that is now basically dropped off the chart completely. This kind of snowy color there means that it's barely registering any sort of instability or rotation there. So as we take a look at the 7-day, again, today is a first alert weather day. We have the red thing, we have the red banners, but we're really looking at about the next 2-3 hours at the most for the Pine Belt remaining under that severe threat before things start to improve dramatically. We'll see the skies clear and the sun come out, and you see there that leads us into a pretty nice Saturday and Sunday with mild conditions, a little bit below average in the mid-50s, but those mornings are going to be quite frosty. But looking ahead, obviously focus on today's severe weather here for the next few hours, but once we head beyond the weekend and into next week, you see that Monday 30% chance as we head into the night, and that 10% lingering Tuesday morning. That's going to come down to some interesting timing to see if any moisture is left. Any rain that follows Monday night will likely be evaporated by the time it becomes a problem. But if any moisture is left, we could see some potential for sleet or something like freezing rain in the area very early Thursday morning. You see dropping down to freezing, and then our afternoon barely climbs above it. So several hours below freezing with a little moisture in the area can really cause some problems for us, especially on bridges and overpasses. So on top of the brutally, even dangerously cold conditions you're seeing there, like that high of 34 for Tuesday and low of 14 for Wednesday morning, on top of that, there may be some slick spots. So that's what we'll be focusing on as we head into next week. But for today, we're still watching these storms march through the area with a couple of active thunderstorm warnings, and we will once again be keeping you the latest up to date on that back out here so you can see that moving through. So right now, the line itself to put where this is ending is right now just passing east of Jackson. You can kind of see it extending right into the northwest corner of Simpson County. That's the tail end of it. Ahead of that, you could see these little lines of storms trying to form. You could see more of those. You could see those isolated storms popping up, lots of space in between them, so it's not an area-wide event. But once that line passes you, which is currently moving into Simpson, your severe threat is over, and your day will actually start getting very, very sunny out there. And some of the tornado watches will very likely begin dropping off as well. Somebody just said that their watch is gone, so it's on its way out. All right, so that's basically all we have right now. I'm still here in the studio, still watching for the next couple of hours, waiting for any warnings. Does not look concerning or that it has trended in a concerning direction. Things seem to be going on about what we expected, which would be a couple of stronger pockets, but all in all, not much else. But we're continuing to watch them. Better to err on the side of caution, and things are going to be a bit windy here for the next couple of hours. So sit tight, keep your app handy, and if anything requires us to be on air, we will of course do that. Otherwise, stay tuned for midday for any further updates.